the hate army troll.
It's the hate army,
bro. Hate army.
Shout out to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout out to hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Ready for this? Epic Games. You may know them as previously the makers of games such as Gears of War, correct? But then they went on to make Fortnite, which looked like it was going to be a flash-in-the-pan, spin-off game, tower defense game with zombies. But out of nowhere, they decided they wanted to turn Fortnite into a battle royale because battle royales were becoming popular. I would argue by complete luck, they became the #1 battle royale game in the world, and as you know, billions upon billions upon billions of dollars in profit have been earned in the last 5 to 7 years on Fortnite. I'm trying to remember exactly when Fortnite began. It was a little over 5-6 years ago, I believe. It's been pretty insane the wild ride this company's had. It was so wild that they went and started throwing their money all over the place. If you remember, they actually made an entire Epic website, Epic Store. They're a new way that they distribute games to people on PC to compete with Steam. They actually went there, which is kind of insane when you think about it. They went out on a buying spree and started buying a bunch of game companies and all of this stuff and bringing them under their wing. All right? So, why am I bringing up Epic Games today? You know, I really wish it was for a good reason. It's definitely not. Bloomberg reports the following. Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite and Unreal Engine, is laying off a whopping 16% of all of its employees, or around 900 total people. Sources tell Bloomberg News. More to come. Rumors were flying. Epic disabled Slack for employees ahead of the news. Laid off Epic employees will receive 6-month severance and health benefits. On hands-on meeting happens shortly, or will be happening shortly. Storing updated as more is learned. Epic is divesting from 2 previous acquisitions. It is selling music site Bandcamp to the marketer Songtradr and spinning out marketing company Super Awesome to operate as an independent company. Continuing on. Epic boss Tim Sweeney said in an email to staff, "For a while now, we've been spending way more money than we earn. Fortnite creator profit margins are not as big as Fortnite was. 870 jobs officially have been eliminated, but Epic is still hiring." No more layoffs planned, because as you know, layoffs are always planned ahead of time. Right? Like that means, oh, we don't plan on any more layoffs. Like we planned for these, right? The thing that's sad, this is the absolutely saddest part of it. Are you ready for this? Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you remember several years ago a virally popular game that I played and many of us all played because the game was free for a while? The name of the game was called Fall Guys. Anyone remember that? I sure remember it. It was that game that kind of played like an elimination style, almost like American Gladiators, this kind of survival platformy game with all kinds of fun cutesy mini games. You played as a cool gooey character, and then after a while they got licensing and you could dress up in cool outfits for licensed characters and things like that. It had several seasons of content. I mean, you guys know the game still exists, right? But you may be wondering, like, whatever happened to Fall Guys? Like, it was virally popular like 3 years ago. So what happened to the game? Why does no one talk about it anymore? Like, what's going on? Well, did you know that Epic Games bought that company? The name of the company is Mediatonic. They were outright sold to Epic Games. Full purchase. Okay? Guess who they laid off in their mass layoffs? Half of Mediatonic. Half of that fucking company just got laid off by Epic Games. So I want you to think about this for a second. You're doing well. Your company, by some kind of luck, by some kind of skill, who knows what it is, but your relatively small gaming company makes a virally popular hit of an indie game, right? It's doing super well. Everyone gets it because I think it was on Game Pass. Was it Game Pass or was it PS Plus? It was on one of them as a free-to-download game. So everyone was playing it. Every streamer was playing it. It was incredibly popular for the summer. 3 years, it was the summer of 2020, I think it was, like 3+ years ago. It was just an anomaly, but man, it was a very, very successful game. And then they started having these partnerships with different intellectual properties to get character skins and things in the game. People were spending money on this, right? So within about 6 months to 8 months of this game being out, it's announced that Epic Games is going to buy the company, right? And then all of a sudden, did you notice something? Silence. Right? All the buzz around Fall Guys died. Why? Because Among Us became the next virally popular game, right? So Epic Games bought them, saw that another game stepped up to take their place as the virally popular game, and what did they do exactly? Absolutely fucking nothing. They just went, meh, oh well. This is Epic Games. They're filthy rich. They could have integrated so much content from Fall Guys. They could have integrated Fall Guys into fucking Fortnite. They could have done a million things to create buzz or crossovers. They basically just had, well, let them just keep putting out some seasonal content and just hope for the best. Get them a few more IPs, hope for the best. Why not have the game company work on a new game? Obviously, they have skill. Why not have them work on the next virally popular game, right? Give them the time and the resources, hire more people. They know what they're doing. Let them make another game. What happened? Absolutely nothing. Stagnation. So they just sat there. Does anyone talk about Fall Guys anymore? Nope. Does anyone play it anymore? I wouldn't know. Is it even getting updates? It probably is, and no one would know because they literally bought the company and they just let it fucking sit there and grow cobwebs on it. So, wow, what a great acquisition, right? I compare this, just listen to this. When I started working for the helicopter company, helicopter support, okay? For many, many, many years, that helicopter company had been an independent company. And they were doing very well in the aviation industry as an independent company servicing helicopter owners, right? They were bought out by Sikorsky Aircraft, a much larger company, okay? That company pledged, oh, don't worry. We're going to improve you. We're going to do all these things to help you. And to some extent they did. They pumped some money into the company and they had, better departments, some better staffing and things like that, all right? Within 10 to 15 years of being bought out, they're gone. They're out of business. All they did is they took all their business and they just sold, they just completely laid everyone off and they sold all of the work to outsourcing call centers. And every person who worked at that company had to go find another job. And that company was it was healthy, it was prosperous, there was nothing wrong with it being an independent company, but they got bought out. So what does this tell us? Sadly, independent companies get sold for giant profits. The people at the top make a ton of money and say, I'm out, fuck this, I made my money, I don't care anymore about this company or anything, I just want to live my life of luxury. And they piece the fuck out, and then the employees are left there holding the bag, like what do we do? What are we supposed to do? Because our people, the leadership is gone. We're owned by another company that obviously doesn't know what they're doing. What happens now, right? So that's exactly what happened here. Is Epic Games came in, bought out this company, had no idea what to do with them whatsoever, didn't guide them, didn't help them to remain pertinent in the gaming landscape whatsoever, left them to their own stagnation and to just sit there and do nothing. I remember every time that the Fall Guys Twitter account used to post up, I'm not shitting you, they would get hundreds of thousands of likes and retweets on their tweets because it was a viral game for kids. Kids loved Fall Guys. It was a game that made sense for kids because there was no excessive gore. There was no nudity. It's just a silly party game. It's just a silly game with a bunch of cartoony characters bopping around doing survival stuff. It was perfectly safe for any child to play. So it was virally popular and they just literally let it die. Right? So it's sad. You might not have seen. I didn't save the picture, which sucks. I should have saved it. So they used to Mediatonic used to have a sign in their office that said Mediatonic. It was a bunch of letters. They reorganized it to say decimation. That's actually because it's the same amount of letters. It's Mediatonic now says decimation because they changed their sign internally and they took a picture and put it on the internet. They lost half their staff, and they're all like disgruntled employees now. They don't want to work for Epic anymore because they ruined their company. Someone outlined, I'll give this credit, this is Julia Cashin, says, Epic's great plan. 1, buy Mediatonic as their Fall Guys game has huge success. 2, remove that game from Steam because now it's an Epic exclusive. 3, wait a minute, people only use the Epic Store to add free games. They don't actually play them. They don't buy games from it. They only play Fortnite on there. Step 4, question marks. Step 5, lay off all the Mediatonic team. That's literally what they did. They added nothing. They bought it and just sat on it, did nothing, and then now they're out of business. So, pretty insanely bad, right? I mean, what kind of a company is that? And the sad part is, I hate to say it, all right, because I know some people, again, they always want to spin something positively, right? Epic Games is only successful to the level they are because of luck. I would like to reiterate that. Epic Games is only successful to the level they are because of luck. Previously, they were popular for making the Unreal Engine, right? And they had made a few other games in the past that were successful. But they were never that successful. It was only when they got lucky and they changed their tower defense game to copy what everyone else was doing in the Battle Royale scene. And they made the premier cartoony Battle Royale game for kids. And they capitalized on it, and they marketed it that way, and they preyed on children. I'm going to say that again. They preyed on children. They literally created predatory content to lure kids to keep playing their games. Hell, the top Fortnite streamers dressed up like cartoon characters and dyed their hair and acted like little fucking, weird comic book people to lure kids to their streams. That's why Epic Games is rich right now, because of children. Not because they have a good game, because they lured kids to play their game. And it became the virally popular thing for children. They didn't even plan on it being like that. It was surefire luck. The game was not supposed to be Battle Royale when they designed it. They just changed it on the fly. All right? So, I mean, kudos to whoever made that decision. We have to jump into the industry trends and make Fortnite a fucking Battle Royale game, right? But man, how could you even think that that company deserves any iota of respect when literally the only real claim to success that they have in the modern day is copying what other people already did and getting lucky doing it? Right? So, of course, they're buying all these companies. I would say Mediatonic will be the first of many. Oh, we have no more further layoffs planned. No one plans layoffs, you fucking dunces. To even say that publicly just shows how much you don't care about anything in your company. You don't. You have no idea what you're doing if you say we have no more layoffs planned, because we always have layoffs planned in waves like this. We're always just going to get cut employees, right? It's our plan. The fuck are you talking about? No successful, healthy company wants to lay people off, right? And I'm wondering what else Epic has bought that now is going to fail because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's hilarious because someone actually brought up their profits. Just listen to this. The amount of money Epic Games made on Fortnite each year. In 2019, they made $3.7 billion. In 2020, they made $5.1 billion. In 2021, they made $5.8 billion. And in 2022, they made over $6 billion on Fortnite. Right? So really, they really had to just cut people. They couldn't take it. Tim Sweeney, we're spending more money than we're making. Then what the fuck are you spending money on? No, really. Instead of laying people off, why don't you stop your insane spending? That obviously doesn't make sense, and reorganize internally to get the morons who are authorizing that spending the fuck out of your company so you don't go out of business. Instead of cutting the jobs of people who worked hard and made a really good game everyone liked, and then you killed the game when you bought it. Right? But no. No one in power could ever be at fault, obviously. As we said, all these companies, right? All these companies who are run by these fucking corporate bigwig people, rather than people who understand the industry that they're in, this is exactly what happens. They don't understand nothing. They don't. And then they make horrible decision after horrible decision. Do they ever see the consequences? No, they're filthy rich. Why do they care? They could give two shits if all of Mediatonic got laid off today. Why would they give a shit? Because, hey, I'm rich. I'm insulated from any kind of consequences of anything I do for the rest of my life. I could continuously fail and hurt people all around me. No one can get to me. I'm rich. It's great, right? It's a great way to live. And that's how they all live. These people who are at the top over there in charge of these fucking game companies, this is what the reality of their life. It's pretty sick, isn't it? Right? I just think it's horribly sad. I remember playing Fall Guys and loving the game, and I remember at the time, you knew it was an indie game. We're like, man, this game has such potential to grow and expand. They can make a series of games. This could become the next Minecraft if they do it right. And what happens? Flush it down the fucking toilet. It makes me pissed off, man, but I guess that's what we all gotta live with, right? All right.
Typically helps me more than anything.